In the tiny hamlet of Rusoma, there once lived a maiden named Sopfünuo, whose beauty and pure heart were renowned far and wide. Her sparkling eyes told tales of innocence, and her smile could melt the hardest of hearts.
One day, a man from a neighboring village arrived and asked for her hand in marriage, and charmed by his wit, she agreed, promising to devote her life to him.
The day of their wedding was a grand celebration, unlike anything Rusoma had ever seen before. As a devoted wife, Sopfünuo remained steadfast in her loyalty, dressing her husband in the most beautiful attires, making him the envy of the other village men. Her unwavering devotion and care were evident to all, and many considered her husband a fortunate man. However, envy began to creep into the hearts of some village women who couldn't bear to see Sopfünuo's happy married life. Their whispers started to sow discord, creating rifts in what was once a blissful marriage. Succumbing to the poisonous instigations, her husband began to harbor unjust doubts about Sopfünuo. The love that once bloomed in his heart withered, and he eventually asked her to leave. Despite her pleas, the bond of matrimony shattered. On a dark, windy night, broken-hearted Sopfünuo packed a meager bundle of belongings, took her child in her arms, and began her sorrowful journey back to her village, lighting her way with a pine torch. The journey was filled with dangers, and the night whisperings of the forest added to her wretched state of mind. While crossing a particularly hazardous patch of terrain, an evil spirit lurking in the darkness struck her down, killing her instantly and leaving her child orphaned in the cold wilderness. Terrified and helpless, the child clung to his mother's lifeless body. Days passed, and the child met a cruel fate, killed by a rib bone from his mother's decomposing body. In an unusual turn of events, both Sopfünuo and her child metamorphosed into stone figures. They stood eerily in the desolate landscape, maintaining a semblance of their human forms. Back in the village, their absence was keenly felt, prompting anxious relatives to launch a search. After a relentless search, they found the stone figures of Sopfünuo and her child. Their hearts heavy with sorrow, attempting to move the stone figure of Sopfünuo, they were halted by a sudden storm. Interpreting the storm as a sign from the heavens, they realized they must not separate the mother from her child. When they tried to move both stones together, the storm abruptly subsided. Sopfünuo and her child were brought back to Rusoma amidst tears and mourning. The village reverberated with sorrow. Both the stones were placed near the entrance of the village, as a constant reminder of their tragic fate. As time passed, the story of Sopfünuo's tragedy became a legend in Rusoma. The mother and child, immortalized as stone figures, served as an enduring message of loyalty, love, and the harsh reality of life. The villagers would often gather near the stones and share their tale with the younger generation. Today, even though Sopfünuo and her child are no more, they continue to live in the hearts and minds of the villagers. Their story, etched in the stones, resonates with every rustle of the trees and whispers of the wind in Rusoma. Their memory is a legacy that the village carries with pride and sorrow.